Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Career Mode episode number 84. So, we begin this episode with something very unimportant, but just something to do. Not every race has to matter on what I show. Last time, we finished off with the first stage of Tour de Romandie, which was a short prologue-esque time trial. Now we're on to stage 5. Stages 2, 3, 4, even though there was some punchiness to them, I just quickly bypassed those. So we're not exactly in a strong position to where we would normally be, as I didn't focus on those stages. So we've got Brandon McNulty, who's a little more punchy than Evenepoel, is 12th. Evenepoel is 15th. Can they do something now in a stage, in a race that matters? No, wait, the race doesn't matter. So, because of that, let's go ahead and skip to the final climb. So, 40 kilometers to go. We still have the valley to get through. Peloton's already down to 51 riders. It's actually been a really interesting stage in how this one has played out. For me, James Mather, Sean Bennett, Logan Owen are among those who've been dropped. Those were my 3 riders providing protection to others on the team, and that's the main reason why they've gone backwards, but also they're just not as strong as climbers as the others. Though Mather, actually a pretty dang decent, not good, but decent climber. Now, the breakaway at the start of the stage is what has made this an interesting race. For a good 60 kilometers, the breakaway was still trying to form. Yeah, 60K, they were fighting over who was going to be in the breakaway or not. I thought the fight was over the size of the breakaway. There was a group of 6, and then there was a group of almost 20 in the second spot. I thought that's who we were chasing, and we caught him. As we begin the final climb, by the way, here. We caught him. But then we kept riding, and we caught the first group. I thought for sure we'd sit up as soon as we caught the big group and had just 6 away. And that would set up the right circumstances. No, it didn't. And we caught the 6. And just before our beginning Category 2 climb, suddenly there was no breakaway in that first kilometer or so. So all the way to this point where my mouse is at right now. Then a new breakaway formed. But it was the same sort of thing. A bunch of riders attacked, and we chased, and really we didn't get our actual break to get formalized until just before the peak of the first climb of the day, which means there was a ton of fatigue already set into the field at that point. And right now, the only breakaway rider is Jack Haig, who is being reeled in as we speak. The good news is that we're sitting at 82, and you can see there's not that much pace going into the field. We're getting just a little blink of red for McNulty to try to hold position, as it looks like Sunweb and Bahrain Merida have decided to set tempo. It's Wilco Kelderman, who's certainly capable of putting up a decent little pace, but we still have 13 kilometers to go on this climb, the Col de la Croix. So 12.5K to go now. That's a hefty little climb we've got going on. Mater, Gottwald, they're both on that verge, fading. So we're going to be down to our 2 riders. McNulty will be protecting Evenepoel for this one, for the remainder. But we're down to just 38 riders in the group as it thins further and further. Mater's already got out the back. That was quick. Gottwald is certainly fading now. And he'll soon go out the back. He'll give him a chance to do something, maybe, somehow. What I need to do is I probably need to use McNulty's gel here very soon. Not much pace. Kelderman's still leading at the front, but you can see just from the sight of him shoulders bobbing back and forth. He is pretty dang tired. So now it's Mikhail Kwiatkowski for Sky, who's going to take over duties, and Gottwald's still here. So you can see he's actually made up ground. Gottwald's got some great form today. He's 77 on his climbing, and that is helping him keep up. And he's still providing support to Evenepoel while McNulty is not having to currently. So for the moment, here we go. Here's an acceleration. Bahrain Merida. Very short-lived acceleration. No, here we go. Martinez, Lopez attacking. I'm going to let them go. This is not my job to chase. But it is my job to make sure that it's not a group of 8 or 10 suddenly. Gottwald is going backwards, though, so it is time for McNulty to provide some support for Evenepoel. Let Sky chase those guys down. Down to 31 in the group. Sivakov, is he the team leader? Landa, these guys are the team leaders. Okay, so we've got team leaders attacking now. We got to make sure that this is the one that Evenepoel... who's attacking? Is it Landa? Sam Uman's the team race leader at the moment. Not attacking. They're not attacking. Okay.
15 kilometers remaining.
They're just chasing. Now down to 27. There's Dumoulin. Here's Sosa. Sosa, I think, is like second place overall at the moment. Okay, we are down to 9 riders, and Evenepoel's pace. We need to make sure we keep up with it. There we go. This is it. 9 riders are all that's left. McNulty, Gottwald have both been dropped. Sorry, Gottwald, my bad. Do your thing, McNulty. Oh, we're back to 24. 16. Okay, it's yo-yoing a little bit right now, but Evenepoel is holding pace. 3.5K to go to the top. And we're in the steepest section right now. 9.9. We're hanging on. It's Uman who's taken over. This is going to take a lot out of Uman. Evenepoel today is an 81. Now we're down to 11 riders. Down to 2K. Evenepoel. Not looking for the stage win. I'm just looking to still be in the group. Next stage, I believe, is an individual time trial. I want to say 1K, but Evenepoel barely hanging in there. But I love it. We're down to just 9 riders, so 700 meters. Down to 6. Dumoulin, Sosa, Carapaz, Lopez, Uman. No. Don't drop. Okay, we made it. We made it over the top. Final group. 6 riders. We only just made it, but we made it. And we're quickly recovering. Step that up. McNulty 3.5 minutes behind, so he'll drop his position. Even though Evenepoel was further down the order, he's only 10 seconds off from where McNulty was. So the 3.5 minutes, you can see just how close we are now to something, anything. The only downside is we are at the back. Our downhill is bad. Our sprint is terrible. So we're not going to win this stage. But what can we do in these final 2.5 kilometers? We need to slide forward if we're going to do something. Hey, I said go forward. There you go. 1K to go.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the
We start from the front, which is smart, but they're going to out-sprint me. You can see that I didn't even knuckle down here until the final few meters, and I'm the last one across the line. Wow, Uman takes the win. Sosa, Carapaz, Lopez, Dumoulin, and Evenepoel. Big gap to everybody else, though. Ooh, not big gap to these 3 anyway. Ardia, Martinez, and Kruiswijk. Here is McNulty. Come on. Go. Not that it matters at this point. Just fight for scraps and not losing time on these guys. Still fighting for 17th. He's not that far down, but it's going to hurt his position a little bit. I think Evenepoel is going to have a real shot, at least at a top 5, if that last stage is a time trial. Dumoulin might be the favorite. 30-second sort of gap is something you can definitely cover on a time trial if it's long enough. We already had prologue length, so now I'll see if my memory is a thing. Because that last episode to this episode, it's been 4 days, 5 days since I recorded that, and I didn't look at the profile before jumping in here. And as we're now in a decent position overall, maybe we get that stage going as well. So here we are. Uman, Sosa, Lopez, Dumoulin, Carapaz, all were ahead of Evenepoel in the standings, so he is now 6th. Kruijswijk drops some time, but not much. He slips to 7th. Our idea is there for Astana. Who is this guy? 21-year-old climber. And not a new gen. That's an actual guy. 77 in the mountains, not good anywhere else, but yet somehow he's in the top 10. McNulty 18th. By the way, that last time out, Eschborn Frankfurt was, I think, over the course of stage 1 to stage 5 here. And we claimed almost 5,000 for that one. And Dianigi is fully healed and back at it. It is a time trial. It's not terribly long. 20 kilometers. Very flat. But as Evenepoel is one of the stronger in that discipline, he's not going to win this race, especially coming behind the other top riders, behind Dumoulin especially. But he's certainly a better time trialist than some of those guys. Even McNulty should move up a few spots from his 18th, but I think Evenepoel absolutely will crack the top 5. Can he get into a podium spot and get a top 3? We'll find out. We'll skip straight to McNulty and Evenepoel at the end of this one. So 75 is the most consistent pace that we could pull throughout this race. Get us kind of right to the end with or without a little bit left in the tank to be able to attack with. So currently, James Mather put in a top 10 time, 9th place, 45 seconds down. Yuri Gotwal just finished in 11th, 52 seconds down. It's raining pretty hard. The weather's a little bit nasty, but there's no wind. McNulty, though, -1 on his race day condition, but having 0 impact. Other than that, his time trial is that big. It's stationary at a 73. So don't expect fireworks on McNulty, but it still should be an okay time, top 20 anyway. Stefan Kung is the current leader and has been the leader for quite some time. He's well down the order overall. Paddy Bevan just came in second. Kelderman, Haga, Dowsett are your top 5. 2.5K to go, and you can see this is where it kind of starts to step up to where you've got that little bit left in the tank. So, Evenepoel, nasty race day condition for him. McNulty already crossed the line in 25th. Okay. Just outside of the top 20. I suppose that's not bad. Times are really coming down, which means his position's not going to wind up being good. But this is where we need to start keeping. Rowan Dennis puts in a really solid time. That's going to gain him a little bit. 3 seconds faster. you can see, though, the entire top 20 within 1 minute. So that's kind of the gap. That's the margin we're working with, is about a minute. Well, we're 53 seconds down, and that's why we're not going to win this race. We're not going to gain a minute on all 5 of those riders ahead of us, especially Dumoulin. As you got to figure, Evenepoel will crack the top 10. Dumoulin will definitely be in the top 5, top 3. And it starts to dry out with 5K to go, and we're going to step up to a 76 here for Evenepoel, as he's got that little bit of spare energy. Let's push even harder, 78 towards the end. 1K to go. Okay, 13th, 41 seconds down for Evenepoel. Carapaz should be well behind that. Minute 35. So we'll be ahead of him. 30 seconds for Dumoulin in 9th. Lopez should be well down. Hopefully a minute and a half or more. Minute 57. We'll be ahead of him. Sosa, terrible time trialist. He should lose more than 2 minutes. We'll be ahead of him. Yes. Uman, also not good. I think we're going to be in second place. Unless somebody behind us finished ahead of us. But I didn't see the order change much. Rowan Dennis, one contender for that, depending on how close he was. So he was only about 5 or 6 positions down the order in the GC. I think that is definitely enough for a podium. Dumoulin, though, has got this race won. He does. Evenepoel takes second by 1 second ahead of Sam Uman. 1 second was all that was in it. And he does make a podium. Carapaz, Kruijswijk, Lopez, Ardilla, Sosa, Martinez, and Grosschartner are your top 10. So, there you go. Not a win, but Remco Evenepoel quietly takes a second place in this race. Dianigi is back and has somehow found his way back, not only from injury, but comes back into a fitness peak and with tremendous form. He's got a +5 race day condition. His prologue today with a +11 is a 77. He's going to put in a pretty solid time. Also, we are in Jerusalem for this one. What we're here for? Giro d'Italia, stage number 1. So, as we go through that first checkpoint, Dianigi, he's down the order a bit. But I have found, after some trial and error, that 80 is a nice steady pace to get to right to the end on this one, through that climb and through things. There's uphill, there's downhill. It's a little bit of a strange prologue the way it's set up in terms of energy management. And unfortunately, Mads Pedersen, our best prologuer, had to go first. 27 seconds down, 22nd place. McNulty, just outside of the top 10 in 11th at 17 seconds down right now, has produced the best time. Also, like Pedersen, a little unfortunate that he did have to go so early, as I was still tweaking how much energy it was going to take to get through this. But here is Evenepoel. Great time trialist. Not that good of a prologuer, though. So he's only a 76 today, prologue, 82 on the time trial. That's going to give him about a 77 average between the two, as anything above 5 starts to eat into the time trial, but it's a long, long way from maxing out your time trial and taking it away from your prologue rating. With that, we're not going to be moving quite as fast, but this is really important. This is our biggest sponsor objective left of the entire year. And it's GC minded, and we need a top 5. And no doubt about it, it's Evenepoel that we ride for. He's got a little bit of energy here, so we're going to try to push this in 81 the rest of the way. 2.5K to go. He's just 11 seconds down at the first check. Can he at least crack the top 10? Still quite a few riders to go after him, though. He does. 9th place currently. 8 seconds down. Christoph is well behind. Lando is 22 seconds down. Here's Ciccone. He'll be well behind. 44. Bernal leading for Sky. 15 seconds. Bardet. 37. Moss. 21. This is a good start for us of all the leaders. DeMar. Minute 5. Kung. 22 seconds. Here's Ackerman. It's Adam Yates who leads currently. 118. Lopez, 30 seconds. Grunewagen. 121. And that's it. So, in terms of contenders, you can see Bernal is going to be a real threat to the top 5. Here's Adam Yates, who's going to be a threat as he's got the yellow jersey. Past that, though, I do like our chances a little bit. I do like the odds of Vettel in the top 10 right now. Just 8 seconds behind on the general classification, so he's got a boost. He's got a good start. I didn't see Dumoulin anywhere, but I think Sunweb was before us, so maybe he's here, maybe he's not. It's the Giro. Climbing's not as intense. Time trialing matters a lot more here than it does at the Tour de France for your overall race position. You don't have to be as strong of a climber to do well here. That's a good thing. But this is definitely not La Vuelta, where it matters even less. It's definitely a step in between in terms of how important the climbing is. We do lead the under 25s at the moment. Jersey right out the box. I like that. Fifth in the team classification currently. And that's one stage in the books. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is in store. We do have a full time trial, a 32-kilometer one flat coming late, stage 16. We have 2 sprint stages coming up, so we'll be quickly bypassing those. The action gets started on stage 4. We have 7 hill stages, 7 flat, 7 mountain, and 2 time trials, no team ones. That is as balanced of a race as we're gonna see. 2 of the flat stages, though, are the time trials. Let's go ahead and start with a profile on 4. That should be a bunch. Plenty of riders left, 40, 50 riders left. Same here. Neither of those stages are terribly punchy. Stage 6 is where this race is going to start to get focused on who's actually contending in the GC. Stage 8, that's actually going to be relatively decisive. Stage 9 will be very decisive. That is back-to-back really, really long climbs. I mean, we're looking at 40-something kilometers worth of climbing in that one. That's insane. Okay, that's a hill stage. I'm not buying it. Same with that. The hill stages are not going to be decisive in this race. We've seen now 3 decisive stages. This one will be... That's enough climbing that's going to be a small group. So I wouldn't call it decisive, but that's 3.5. Of course, the time trial makes 4.5 stages. How is that even classified as a hill stage? That's flat. That's a sprint stage. A lot of sprint stages. That's certainly decisive. So that's 5.5. That'll matter. That climb at the end, and as late as it is in the race. So that's 5.5, 6.5. So 7 stages will matter. Not much doing in the other 14. That is going to do it for this episode, though. We're going to get started in earnest on stage 4 next time out. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time, but also keep an eye out here in 2 days. I think, anyway, depending on my recording schedule. I haven't recorded it yet, but beginning in 2 days, look for a third Pro Cycling Manager series to get started with the coronavirus closures. I've got a little extra time on my hand, no track season to coach right now, and our school year is just officially shut down for the rest of the year, meaning my track season's not going to happen at all. And so I decided I'm going to get another series going. Keep an eye out for it. I won't give away too many details as it hasn't released yet, but look for that release to take place in 2 days, and also look for it to coincide with this and my Pro Cyclist series, which right now take 4 days a week. Temporarily, that one will fill the other 3 days so that we have PCM content daily once again for a little while. But then that'll settle down to 2 days. And then if it gains enough popularity, we'll keep it at 2 days. If not, it'll become a 1-day series down the road a little bit. But I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.